It's Halloween time, everybody, the most wonderful time of the year, when metalheads can get away with wearing their normal clothing without freaking everyone out. It's the one time of year where even the normies pretend to be as cool as all of us weird freaks. Us metalheads get to wear our most grotesque band shirts, go to the grocery store wearing corpse paint, scream metal lyrics at old people, and sacrifice virgins to Lucifer, and everyone just considers it a good festive time. Ever since heavy metal first crashed onto our planet and wiped out the dinosaurs, it's been closely married to horror. Images of death, terror, blood, demons, hell, and all kinds of spooky stuff fit quite nicely with distorted riffs, blast beats, and guys who already look like the Wolfman. With it being Halloween week, there will be lots of parties that need some metal music, so I figured what better time than now for us to talk about the 10 best metal bands for Halloween. These are my favorite bands to get in the spooky spirit, and maybe I'll give you some new suggestions for you to blast over your speakers this Halloween while you watch cheesy 80s horror films all night and throw candy at children from your window. Headbang the like button, stage dive onto the subscribe button, and windmill the video to your friends. And if you're a fan of this channel, consider becoming a member. Memberships start at just 99 cents a month, and each one really helps me towards starting the first metal festival on the moon. And by the way, aren't you amazed by the incredible thumbnail that I have for this video? Don't you want one just like it for yourself? Well, it was made by my friend who is an excellent graphic designer. She does great work as an independent artist, handling everything from thumbnails, logos, websites, brochures, magazines. So if you need some work done for your business or your side hustle or whatever the hell you're doing, consider checking out emilytdesign.com for your graphic design needs. And with that said, let's talk about the 10 best metal bands to listen to for Halloween. Number 10, Behemoth. Behemoth is the band all the cool, edgy freshmen in college listen to show their professors how dark and semi-philosophical they are. The current heavyweight champions of black and death metal, and one of the few remaining huge metal bands to proudly embrace their satanic theme. Lyrics full of biblical horror, with music that sounds like heaven being torn asunder. Songs like Conquer All, The Satanist, and Of Fire in the Void paint the image of a holy city being destroyed in volcanic hellfire. A crushing wall of heavy fucking chaos with a stage show and music videos that would fit perfectly in Hellraiser. Behemoth is a great Halloween band if your idea of an awesome Halloween is talking with your two other pale black-haired friends about how nihilistic you all are while you attempt to breathe fire. Number 9, Cradle of Filth. Cradle of Filth is like if Tim Burton started a black metal band. Grinding and spooky and heavy and beautiful with even more of a Halloween aesthetic to them. Cradle of Filth sounds like a beautiful, innocent woman getting lost in a haunted mansion. They're the metal band that the Addams Family would listen to. Danny Filth's lyrics are very dark and poetic. They're actually quite brilliant. Cradle's music isn't just dark and heavy, but sets a haunting atmosphere, perfect for Halloween. When you listen to them, you picture a Victorian masquerade ball full of vampires. Cradle is a great choice if you're having a Halloween party and there are girls coming over that are kinda metal, but not really, and you don't want to scare them off with something like Behemoth. So play some Cradle of Filth and talk about how much you love the movie Interview with a Vampire, and you might actually have a chance this Halloween. Number 8, Cannibal Corpse. I mean, do I even have to explain this one? Cannibal Corpse is the musical equivalent to every gratuitously gory slasher film to come out of the 1980s. Cannibal Corpse sounds like a chainsaw going into your skull. They're the longtime definition of death metal. Still crushingly heavy as fuck after all of these years, still putting out consistently killer albums. Cannibal Corpse has not lost any of their appeal at all. Break your neck to songs about beheading zombies with a shovel and shooting blood out of your cock. Or perhaps bludgeoning innocent people with their own limbs is more your cup of tea. Well, Cannibal Corpse has got you covered. When I was a little kid, I would have trouble falling asleep at night, and to help me relax and calm down, my loving mother would tuck me in, turn on my nightlight, and read to me the lyrics to Cannibal Corpse songs like Hammer Smashed Face, Meat Hook Sodomy, and my personal favorite bedtime lullaby, Fucked with a Knife. And I would gently fall asleep to pleasant dreams of torture, mutilation, and intestines. So this Halloween, put on a Cannibal Corpse album and do beer bongs with your stoner friends while watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and have yourself a brutal fucking time. Number 7, Powerwolf. If the last 3 have been too extreme for you, let's go in the complete opposite direction and lighten things up a bit with Powerwolf. Powerwolf is what I like to call Notre Dame metal. Symphonic power metal band with operatic vocals and the aesthetic of a cult of werewolves who've been imprisoned in the Vatican. Powerwolf is a really interesting band. They have a very heavy religious theme to them when it comes to the music and lyrics, with song titles like Amen and Attack and Sanctified with Dynamite. But you wouldn't consider them a Christian metal band. They're nothing like Stryper. Instead, they've more adopted the theme of Gothic churches, like ghosts of ancient lycanthropic crusaders. They're catchy, fun, epic, and make for a great sing-along. If you play their song Demons Are a Girl's Best Friend at a Halloween party, you will definitely get the werewolf women howling along. Number 6, Venom. Of course Satan's favorite band is going to be on the list. Venom are the pioneers of early black metal and sound like you're being pulled down into the depths of hell while demons laugh at your torment. Another band that are the perfect soundtrack to most 80s horror films. Their grinding raw sound combined with their overtly satanic theme and demonic vocals leaves you feeling like you may actually be listening to something evil. Venom is for the Halloween house parties where the walls are covered in spray paint and people smoke cigarettes indoors. Metalheads and punks alike can enjoy a rad Halloween together, blasting Venom, smoking weed, and chugging cheap gas station beers while setting things on fire in their backyard. Not that I've ever done that before, maybe. Number 5, Typo Negative. And all the women watching just cheered together. Typo Negative is a goth metal band that your girlfriend probably loves. For great reason, their music is fantastic and basically captures the sound of the fall season. Their sound is this darkly beautiful metal with romantically haunting vocals from late frontman Peter Steele, who sounds like Dracula trying to seduce you. Listening to their songs like Black Number 1, Christian Woman, and Be My Druidess give you the feeling that you're walking through a dark forest on an overcast evening, making your way through the ghostly fog looking for a place to fuck. They're a band that probably won't chase out any non-metal people if you put them on. Plus, they are the perfect background music for any dimly lit orgies you might be having. And fun fact, it has actually been proven from multiple different scientific studies that if you put on a Typo Negative song at a Halloween party, there's a 69% chance that you will get laid. Number 4, Ghoul. Fuck yeah, I love Ghoul. Ghoul will go perfectly with the people who are chugging beers at backyard parties and moshing in their living rooms. The punks and metalheads that don't care if a PBR gets spilled on the couch. Ghoul are a mix of death metal, thrash, punk, grind, some surf influence. These ghouls do everything. They have this excellent theme of being dungeon bastards, like a psychotic tribe of rednecks thrashing through villages and killing people. They're like a death metal gwar in many ways, with their live shows being full of characters spraying blood everywhere to crowds that are breaking their necks. Listening to Ghoul, you feel as though you're being dragged by your feet into a dungeon full of drunk serial killers, who are all moshing to thrash metal and fighting over severed limbs to eat. So think about throwing on their albums like Splatter Thrash and Dungeon Bastards at your abandoned house party this Halloween. Number 3, Alice Cooper. Yeah, I'm sure you knew this one was coming, but how could it not? Alice Cooper, the godfather of shock rock, a massive influence in rock and metal, still reigns supreme in the Halloween and horror legends. His music and image have been featured in plenty of films over the years, and Alice's makeup is iconic among the spooky people. He's the perfect soundtrack for a Halloween party where people's parents might be there and you can't go too extreme. His music works for haunted houses, Halloween stores, house parties, and company Halloween parties. That's not to knock Alice at all. His albums still go great with a more tame Halloween party, where people enjoy chatting while having a Vincent Price movie play in the background. If you're a fan of the horror icons of the 70s and 80s, well then you probably already know about Alice. But for you young kids out there, pay respect to the legend this Halloween by donning the Alice Cooper face paint and blast those classic albums from that weird guy in the makeup that your dad used to listen to. Number 2, King Diamond. The Danish master of frightening ghost stories, demon of the falsetto, and one of my favorite artists of all time, the legendary King Diamond. His music sounds like if you plugged headphones into a Ouija board, with lyrics about possessions, haunted mansions, and graveyards, plus vocals that sound like a ghost stubbing its toe. Listening to King Diamond's music is like being chased through a cemetery by evil spirits that are laughing at you. His albums are all full stories with actual characters who get killed, making them serve as spooky Halloween tales as well as awesome metal albums. King Diamond is unique due to his extremely high-pitched singing. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but I fucking love it. Of course, Merciful Fate is included as well, King's band before going solo, who have recently reunited. Both Merciful Fate and King Diamond's solo albums are some of the best spooky metal soundtracks you can find out there. Pretty much every metalhead at some point in their lives has been king for Halloween, and it's never actually been confirmed that King Diamond is not some kind of demonic spirit from the dark realm, so make sure you don't anger the king this Halloween. Light some candles, put on face paint, and blast some Merciful Fate while you read the Satanic Bible, or you might wake up to find yourself the subject of King's next haunting tale. And number 1, Nickelback. No, I'm just kidding. And number 1, Rob Zombie. I mean, duh, who else would it have been? Rob Zombie is the human embodiment of a Halloween store. Horror master extraordinaire with both music and film, Rob Zombie by now is completely synonymous with Halloween. Rob was born under a broken tombstone that read Frankenstein, and was raised by a pack of wild coyotes before being adopted into a traveling circus that sold meth. There he found a Black Sabbath bootleg tape that had been half taped over with the movie Creatures from Outer Space, and thus Rob Zombie decided to become a musician. Starting with his awesome band White Zombie, then going solo, Rob keeps the fun in metal. He makes horror-themed music that you can dance, headbang, and fuck to all at the same time. His albums sound like John Wayne Gacy on acid. His classic song Dragula has always been one of my favorite songs and music videos, and if you play Living Dead Girl at a Halloween party, you will definitely get people dancing. Rob's horror film, House of a Thousand Corpses, is basically required viewing for any metal and horror fans out there. Devil's Rejects is also really good, and I have to shout out the extremely underrated Haunted World of El Superbeasto. I love this movie. It's a ridiculous adult cartoon Rob Zombie made for anyone who likes immature humor like me. He also directed a remake and then a sequel to Halloween, which are definitely movies that exist at the bottom of a Walmart bargaining bin somewhere. Rob's music is perfect for metalheads of all different levels, whether you're just getting into it or you're a die-hard metal fanatic. Pretty much everyone can get down to some Zombie. So have yourself a Halloween hootenanny at your apartment and blast some Rob Zombie for all your neighbors to hear while you and your friends do keg stands and take acid. Hell, many haunted houses and Halloween parties out there will just put on Rob Zombie the entire time and everyone's happy with it. But I recommend adding all of these bands to your Halloween playlist this year. They're all guaranteed to get you in the spooky setting and provide a great soundtrack for a night of headbanging, partying, watching horror films, performing ritual sacrifices, throwing pumpkins at strangers, giving children apples that have Slayer albums in them, and whatever other fun spooky celebrations you have going on this Halloween. But these are just my top bands for this season, but what bands do you keep on your Halloween playlist? Let me know in the comments below. For more from me, check out my band Dark Insanity on Instagram and here on the channel. We've got our first recordings coming up very soon, and we're playing our next show December 8th at the Rainbow Bar and Grill in Hollywood, and we'll be playing the Tulminator Festival next year in Slovenia. Can't fucking wait. If you liked the video, consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and maybe even becoming a member if you like. Shout out to my Rockstar members for helping support the channel. You guys are awesome. Anyway, that's it for now, and I'll see you on the next video.